What's going on? I'm excited to have you on the video. We're gonna go into the information here in a second, but I just want to quickly highlight. I love what we do here at Unbreakable Dads, and this was by far one of the best trainings that I ever held for my coaching group. I'm super stoked for you to get a chance to watch it. What we're gonna cover is a mindset and a strategy around Christmas and New Year's, where you can actually use New Year's Day, use Christmas Day as a way to actually level up. For so many men all across North America, during the holiday season is a time where they slack off, they hold off, they push off, and they just kind of, I don't know, just take it so easy that by the time the new year rolls around, what ends up happening is you're just in no momentum. And then it takes this Herculean effort in January for you to start to make headway towards your health and fitness goals. So this is a awesome video that I held for my private training group where I highlight everything. I give away all the secrets and I tell you exactly the mindset that you need, the strategy that you need, where you can leverage the holidays and go into 2024 with a tremendous amount of momentum. Now, obviously, I'm dating the video here in 2023 to 2024, but you could use this every year for the rest of your life. So make sure to save this. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, guys, I drop a new video once every 10 days. So that's 3 a month. So obviously not a huge amount of volume, but everything that I put out requires a tremendous amount of effort and planning. So I'm not a fucking YouTuber. Like, I'm not going to put out something 3 times a week. But if you subscribe to the channel, you'll at least get the updates. And if you want more information on what my coaching group entails, you can go to my Instagram. It's at Unbreakable Dads, and you can have a full-fledged conversation with me there. It's me in the DMs. I'd love to get to know you. And hey, even if you're not interested in coaching, if you could let me know what you think about the video by leaving a comment or letting me know on Instagram what you think about it, that would be awesome too. So let's dive in.
All right, guys, let's kick this bad boy off. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to dive right on in. All right. So, how to use Christmas and New Year's to level up. I'm a big fan of leveraging the holidays, and maybe I'm a little bit different when I say like using Christmas and using New Year's to level up. But going off of what Mike was saying, right, having control, having all of these things that are readily available, all the desserts, all the cookies, all the snacks. I don't know if your family is like my family, but we do like a Christmas cookie party, right? And it's like everybody bakes like 5 dozen cookies. And like I said, we literally have like 6 pounds of cookies just laying around and nice little like little tiny sweet ones. And then you got like the big like jelly rings because we're an Italian family too. And those are my absolute favorites. So they're just laying around. And it's so easy to just kind of like, whatever, it's the holidays, right? And that's the old mentality. And if we look at Christmas and look at New Year's as an opportunity to increase our level of discipline, increase our level of willpower, some might say, right? Increase our level of dedication. Doing it through the holidays is going to make it even easier during the next season, right? Because what comes after this, which is like January to June, which is such an easy time just statistically to like hit goals and stay on track because the only holidays we're going to be contending with are like what Valentine's Day, Flag Day, right? Maybe a little bit of Memorial Day towards the tail end, but a lot of you guys are already going to be in a completely different spot 5 months from now. And so we want to look at Christmas and New Year's not as this difficult thing, like, oh, it's such a hard time, right? We want to start to change the story around the holidays and start to look at it as an opportunity where you can get better. Like, how dialed can you be? How on point can you be? Right? Regardless of all the external stimulus, how much self control can you have? Because if you really look at the Unbreakable Dads program, what it actually is, it's labeled as a weight loss program, it's labeled as a fitness program, it's labeled as a men's group, and all of these things. And that's great. But it really is it's a commitment to a discipline and it's a commitment to a level of self control, right? And establishing that relationship with food that, hey, it doesn't have power over me. When I was first getting into like paying attention to what I was eating and really documenting everything and tracking everything and working out and paying attention to my own health, one of the old mental games I used to say is the peanut butter doesn't have power over me. I don't know if anybody has what I have, but growing up, my dad used to leave a Skippy jar. It was like Ted Lasso. He literally used to just leave a fucking jar of Skippy peanut butter out on the counter. And like whenever he would walk by, he'd just grab a spoon and just whoop, just like 2 tablespoons, like right to the face. And don't get me wrong, Skippy peanut butter is banging, right? But like I grew up in a house where it was just like, oh, you're hungry, eat. Oh, you're craving something, eat it, right? Like you want chocolate, eat it. My parents never stopped themselves from consuming anything. My dad, when we would, have pizza Fridays, he would drink like almost 2 liters of Pepsi by himself, right? And like he would go and have like a sleeve of Oreos and the cookie tin that my grandma would bake, which is kind of where the tradition for the cookie bake would come. We would get it in the mail from Florida. My grandmother that just passed, she's an unbelievable baker. And she would mail us like this like 5 pound tin of cookies. And he would literally keep them in his closet. And then like late at night after we would go to bed, obviously I figured this out when I was a teenager and I would stay up late. He would like sit there on the couch with this huge glass of milk and he would just bang out cookies till like 11 o'clock midnight, just watching TV. And so that was my relationship with sweets and food and all of these things was just like, no, if you want it, have it. Right. And that's what leads us to, kind of having the bodies that we weren't excited about. Right. It also kind of leads us down this road where it's like, well, and I'll get into this there in a second. I don't want to give too much away, where it's like, well, we let ourselves loose here with our food, with our diet, with all that stuff, and we can very easily let that loose type feeling into every other area of our life, right? Like if we're not paying attention to the food, then maybe we're not paying attention to the diet, or maybe we're not paying attention to like work. Maybe we're not giving our all. Maybe we're not being as intentional. Whereas it's the same thing where if you increase your intentionality with just the simple disciplines, nailing your workouts, nailing your cardio, nailing the 12 lifts of Christmas, right? Or the 12 days of lift miss challenge for those of you that are partaking in that, right? Staying disciplined, saying no, right? Because it's saying no now to what you want right now for what you want in the future. And that's how success happens in every area of life. So we're going to use Christmas. That's the story, guys. We're going to use Christmas as an opportunity for discipline. We're going to use New Year's as an opportunity to level up. So a couple mindset things, right? This is a Mindset Monday call. First and foremost, everything affects everything else. And I was just kind of getting into that, right? Like when we get lackadaisical in one area of our life, it immediately affects every other area of our life. Maybe we're more lackadaisical at work. Maybe we're like, we just kind of have the whatever attitude. I don't know if you guys have gotten the sense, but I swear it's like December 1st hits and it's like everyone is mentally on vacation, right? The story, especially in North America, becomes like, let's just get through the holidays. If you're in sales, you definitely know what I'm talking about because everyone is just like, talk to me in January, talk to me in January. The entire world is just like pushing off every responsibility that they have because it's like, well, yeah, it's the holidays, man. Let's just get through the holidays. And we don't want to just get through the holidays. We want to thrive through the holidays. So we're going to use Christmas, we're going to use New Year's as opportunities to increase our level of discipline. So a great mantra to have, like when you finding yourself getting attracted or craving or wanting, kind of like almost starting to react emotionally, right? It's like, hey, listen, everything affects everything else. And so let me just win here, and that's going to help me win in every other area. And I'm going to finish this year strong. Secondly, right? And this was the whole mantra for for back in when we were talking about Thanksgiving too, which was, hey, it's one day. Christmas is one day. It's not a whole week, right? So everyone else is going to like look at once Christmas morning hits to literally January 1st, everyone around you is going to be like, oh, nothing matters, right? Like I'm going to eat whatever I want, like cookies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like maybe not cookies, but all the leftovers. And it's like, oh, I'm just kind of craving this right now. Like I'm going to have it, like whatever, it's the holidays. And that lackadaisical mentality can start to lead into just slamming terrible food and skipping workouts and being lazy for an entire week. Most people look at that week like it doesn't even matter, like it doesn't even exist, right? They're like so far deep into vacation that it's just like, yeah, whatever, right? And that whatever mentality, it never gets us anywhere in life. Lastly, nothing and no one can stop you. It's purely up to you. And so one of the hardest parts, one of the most difficult things that you're going to face throughout the holiday season is going to be the peer pressure from everybody else, right? And so many times we make decisions and we react because we just want to appease those around us, right? Whether it's our mom or whether it's a cousin or whether it's our parents or our brother, you know, it's so easy to just be like, well, like I just don't really want to hear it from them. My older brother is, he's got that influence on me. He's a lot better than he used to be. I mean, he's down about 100 pounds since COVID, which is great. And he's made a lot of strides. But like when the holidays roll around, like I just FaceTimed him yesterday just because I wanted to see the kids. He's got two. He's got a boy and a girl that I haven't seen in a little while. And I wanted to talk to the little G. And I'm talking to my brother and I'm like, what are you up to? And he's just like, we're just, crushing nachos. And he like showed me this plate and he's just like, yeah, I'm on my third serving. And I'm like, damn, bro, like that's fucking like that's why. And it was like this massive plate. My brother can put it away. And it's so easy, right? For me, when I get around my brother, especially, like the first couple years that I was doing this and the first couple sets of holidays that I was going through, where it was just like, well, if my brother was going to have an extra plate, like I'm going to have an extra plate. Oh, my brother's crushing a couple beers. Like, you know what? Why don't I have a beer or two? Right. And it was so easy for me to do that. And I would start to react to all the, what everyone else is doing. But one of the things I want you guys to understand is that nothing and no one can stop you, right? No one else's opinion. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. If someone goes up for a second plate, third plate, whatever, if someone wants to have cinnamon buns on the 27th for breakfast, even if it's your wife and kids, that doesn't mean that you have to as well. You're not going to offend anybody. No one actually really cares. So if they make a sly comment or they kind of give a jab, like whatever, it's the holidays, you just go, yeah, no, I totally understand. You do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do me, right? I'm really committed to this. I'm really committed to the discipline. And when they see that shift in tone, especially during the holidays, and it's repeated over time for the length of this program, you will find how quickly everyone else in your environment starts to kind of just like let you do your thing. That's where it all starts. Like they stop making comments. And then after that, they start to ask you questions. Oh man, how did you do it? Right? Like, I can't, but like, you're so strong. Right. And then it turns into compliments. So if you kind of get a little bit of that, you know, man, just do it anyway, man. Like, well, oh, dude, live a little. If that's the case, it's totally okay. Just understand that those comments are temporary and they're reacting emotionally to you. That doesn't mean you have to react emotionally to them. And ultimately, I say this all the time, and it's a great reminder. And so many times we need to be reminded of things more than we need to learn new things. But this is about who you're becoming, not about the how, right? So I'm going to get into some tactics. For those of you guys that were here for Thanksgiving, you know that it's nothing crazy, right? It's not like I'm going to ask you guys to like quadruple your level of cardio for the following 4 days, because we don't react to Christmas. We don't react to a holiday. But all in all, right? The whole purpose of this program is because of is building who you're becoming. These choices, these disciplines, like honoring your commitments through December 18th all the way through to the 24th, and then the 26th to the 30th, right? Like doing those things is fortifying who you're becoming. And for you to have the body that you want, have the energy that you want, have the results that you want. It's not about, oh, I want to have a fit body. It's I want to become somebody who is fit. That's the difference. That's the identity shift that I talked about with you guys on each one of your client intake calls. As much as the results are great, what the true power of becoming an unbreakable dad is the identity factor, who you're becoming, how you're operating in every other area of your life. And this is just one layer of it. But you nail this layer, this is the base layer. Controlling your fitness, controlling what you're eating, understanding and tracking, right? Doing all of these things is going to elevate you just in life. And some of you guys are feeling that already. So let's talk a little bit about strategy, right? We talked a lot about reacting and how we don't want to do that. Well, the easiest way to react is to not have a plan. The easiest way for you to undo weeks of progress in just 5 or 6 days is by going into this completely blind and not spending any time on the front end preparing. But if you have a game plan, if you know what you're going to do, if you're executing properly, and you just spend a little bit of time just strategically thinking, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do on Christmas, but hey, on the 26th, we're going to do this. On the 27th, we're going to do this. Takes, excuse me, takes all of like, what, 5 minutes to really think about, like, all right, you know what? I'll like, if the kids and my wife are having this for breakfast, like, I got my stuff. Making sure you have the groceries packed, right? Making sure the stuff's in the fridge. If you need to prepare food ahead of time, so that way it's easier. Maybe you're working on the 26th through the 30th, and it's just another work week for you. Maybe you're completely off. Just because you're on vacation doesn't mean that you don't prepare as if it's a work week. Because if you have a game plan, the day becomes and the week becomes all about execution and not reaction. Okay. But if you go into this with like whatever, like, and you just kind of like, oh, I'll figure it out the day of, you're not going to figure it out the day of. Your emotions are going to get the best of you. The peer pressure is going to get the best of you. This is like all the external stimulus is going to get the best of you. So make sure that you're planning ahead. Know what you're going to eat. Make sure you have the food stocked in the fridge. I know that braving a grocery store for the next 7 days is like, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. Maybe you're like, I don't even have the time. And your wife is so concerned about making sure that Christmas, shopping and cooking is all taken care of that she can't even get to it. Guys, there's a beautiful app called Instacart. If you haven't used it, man, like you guys are missing out. You can literally pay somebody, you pay like an additional 25 to 50 cents per item, which by the way, for one person is not that much money. And you do like a little bit of a delivery fee. Maybe you tip the guy $5 because it's Christmas, and they go and they do all the grocery shopping for you. They can suffer through the lines and suffer through the crowds and just make sure that you have your shit on lock. That's what this is about. So first and foremost, let's talk about strategy. Okay. So I kind of covered this already, but we're always at our weakest when we react. So proper preparation equals wonderful results. So here's the dirty little secret for all my new guys that have never done a holiday with Unbreakable Dads. Christmas, you get to do whatever you want, right? It is one day. One day is not going to undo a 6 month program. I promise you. So what does that mean? It means that your relationship with food should be a healthy one. If you notice, I don't like talk shit about foods. I'm not like, you should never have a carbohydrate ever again, right? Because one day out of the year isn't going to set you back at all. Okay. Like you don't have to look at Christmas like, oh, I have to like count carbs and all that stuff. Like, dude, it's Christmas. Enjoy Christmas Day. Really, what would fuck you up in the long term is going to be like not giving a shit on the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 30th, right? But Christmas Day, dude, go nuts. I don't care. Like even me, right? Like, yes, you should still get in 80% of your protein for the day. But like I already know my wife is planning on making these cinnamon rolls. I think we all the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. They're like 400 fucking calories a piece. Dude, I'm gonna have like two or three of those bad boys. I can't wait. I'm so excited about it, right? But that's because my relationship with food is that there's gonna be zero guilt. I'm not going to be worried about it. I'm not going to be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to weigh in so much more tomorrow. It doesn't matter, right? Because I know that one day isn't going to undo months and months and months of progress. So should you still get in 80% of your protein for the day plus, right? If your goal that I give you in your macros is 200 or 220, you should still be hitting 185 to 200. Absolutely, right? But do that while also having everything else. I don't care. Dude, eat the cookies, eat the cinnamon bun, go nuts, have fun. I don't care if you have like 4 or 5,000 calories. I really don't care because it's Christmas Day and we only get one per year. You might as well enjoy it. Right. And so this is how you can build a healthy relationship with food is by understanding that, like, if you're disciplined from now until Christmas, right? You hit your macros, you hit your workouts, you hit your cardio, you do everything that's a part of your plan. Then you're going to go into Christmas Day and you're going to be like, cool. Bryan said that's part of the program. I get to just fuck off. And so there's going to be zero guilt, right? Whereas if you're not disciplined for the next week, you start slacking, right? You stop tracking. You don't do the necessary things. You don't do the stuff that's in the program now. Then on Christmas Day, if you kind of just fuck off, the whole time you're going to be thinking like, oh, I was bad yesterday, but I'm good today. And then you start to get into your own head. So if you notice, excuse me, if you notice, winning a holiday is about the week leading into it and what you do after. It's not about the day itself. Enjoy the day. Okay. And so the key to winning with Christmas and New Year's and leveling up through and nailing the 26th through the 1st of January, it's about balancing the holiday while understanding that the 26th is a Tuesday. It's just like every other Tuesday, right? So what are we doing on the 26th through the 1st, right? You guys know, hey, stay disciplined leading into Christmas. On Christmas Day, go nuts, have fun. What are we doing the 26th through the 1st? Here's what I recommend, right? This is how you kind of, there's a little bit of mitigation, right? We're not going to sit here and slam like a million cardio sessions or anything like that, but there's a couple little 1% tweaks that you can do that, like, if you do have 3 cinnamon buns and you have like 4 pieces of lasagna at dinner, and I'm just saying this because this is kind of like my plan, then this is what we're going to do. And these are going to help you mitigate any of the additional calories. First and foremost, on the 26th through January 1st, hit your macros like every other day, right? You're going to be tired. The holiday spirit is still going to be in your wife and kids. You, however, must be clean and prepped with your choices. So again, make sure your food's taken care of. Make sure you have a game plan for the 26th through the 1st. Secondly, on the 26th, get in some sort of high intensity or cardio based session, right? Even if it's not in the calendar and maybe you have it prepped for, maybe I have it on you for like Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays or whatever may have you, even if it's not in your app, do some sort of cardio just on the 26th, right? What this is going to do is going to help release excess glycogen buildups. Right? If you go hard on cookies and stuff like that, your body's going to store all that additional sugar and all that additional glycogen. And if you do a little bit of a cardio session, right? 30 minutes on an incline treadmill, hit the Stairmaster for 30 minutes, you do a hit session class at the gym, or you go to like an Orange Theory, just do something to get your heart rate up. Shit, you can do 100 burpees if you wanted to, although I think Cody Friend is a little burpeed out here, right? If you as long as you hit a high intensity cardio session on the 26th, on top of your regular workout, whatever's already in the app, just for 20 to 30 minutes, great. That's all you need to do in terms of additional activity. You don't have to sit there and do it for the next 5 days straight. You don't have to wildly overcompensate. I promise you, just doing this one session will allow you to just, hey, no worries, just kind of move forward. Now, if you were here for Thanksgiving, this is a little bit different from Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I was like, hey, just hit your macros on Friday and Saturday and all that. And I didn't even talk about an additional cardio session. So one of the reasons why I say this is because unlike Thanksgiving, which is one meal, it's just dinner, Christmas is kind of a full day event. We all have kids for the most part, right? And so you kind of wake up early. They're up at like the crack of dawn, like 4:45, like fiending, like, can we open presents, please? And so it's about a quick breakfast, right? Maybe your wife already has something made. Maybe you already have something made. And so you're just kind of like, you know, whatever. It's whatever's readily available. The kids want to eat cookies. It's like it's Christmas Day, right? So it kind of becomes this all day affair, right? So we want to do a little bit of an additional cardio session just on the 26th. Secondly, on the 26th and the 27th, I want you guys to take your water intake up. This helps your body release any additional calories because it's forced to digest it. It helps the digestion track, right? Like when you have a sugar spike, like probably what's going to happen on Christmas, it can kind of mess a little bit with your gut like biome. So just adding in the additional water will help mitigate that and actually move through the excess calories faster. Your body's going to flush some stuff out. So we're going to take our water just on the 26th and the 27th from a gallon up to a gallon and a half. If you want to go even harder and you want to drink 2 gallons, that's fine with me. but nobody on here needs to be drinking more than 2 gallons of water. Gallon and a half will suffice. Next, do your normal workouts, but I want you guys to use the calories, right? What do I mean by this? Go harder in the gym. Like you might as well hit a PR. Like if I say 4 sets and you got the energy for it, do a fifth set. If I say 10 reps, go for 15. Like go for the burn for the couple days after Christmas, right? Like you don't need to be killing yourself. I'm not asking you to tack on an additional 35 minutes of weightlifting here per day. I'm just saying you're gonna have the energy. You might as well use it. So like a great day to PR on certain shit is going to be the 26th and the 27th. Your blood sugar is going to be high. You're going to have the extra glycogen. Your body's going to feel recovered. All the extra calories are going to allow your muscles to recover faster too. Just go for it. Like bring the fucking heat on the 26th and the 27th. But other than that, guys, it's right back to a normal week. We don't have to sit here and like have the emotional roller coaster of like, oh, do I need to do all this extra stuff? It's one extra hit session. It's working out with more intensity, right? Because you're going to have the calories anyways. You might as well use it. And then adding in an extra gallon of water spread over the course of 2 days. That's it. Those are the only tweaks you need to make. And so we don't have to worry about like, oh man, I had 6,000 calories or shit, I really went fucking hard and I had 4 cinnamon buns. Like I ate the whole Pillsbury Grands. I've been known to do that. You don't have to worry about like feeling guilty or anything like that. Your body will take care of the rest because what we're going to do, it's like blip on a sonar, right? We're going to be even keel going right into Christmas. We're going to have one spike, then we're going to go right back to baseline, right back to operating just like the man you are operating right before Christmas anyways. Your body's going to be like, "Oh, cool, got some extra calories." And that's really it. It's going to use them, it's going to release them, it's going to move them through and you'll be good to go. If you see a spike in the scale on the way in on Tuesday and Friday, the week after Christmas, just know you will probably see, provided that you follow this plan, you hit your macros, you hit your workouts. I wouldn't be shocked if you see a new low, a new all time best low on one of the following 2 weigh-ins the following week. Okay. But if you fuck off for the whole week, you're definitely not going to see a new low. This only works if you treat Christmas like one day because that's all it ever is. So let's talk about New Year's. Okay. New Year's is a little bit different because New Year's isn't about like cookies and sweets and all that stuff. For some people, I'm not saying everyone on here, I'm going to kind of speak to just like the old version of Bryan here a little bit. I'm going to pose a challenge. New Year's is different because for the most part, it's about booze. And booze is a dangerous game, guys. And I say that not because like I'm not going to get into, drinking and driving or anything like that. I don't think anyone on here would be that stupid. Okay. Plus Uber exists. So if anyone drinks and drives, that's crazy. But for the most part, right? New Year's is about drinking. It's having the extra couple beers. It's, if you go to a New Year's party, there's going to be a lot of hard alcohol. People are going to be taking shots. It's the big celebration. Oh man, 2024 is here. Let's stay up till midnight to watch the ball drop. And some of you guys, maybe this is even resonating with you where you're like, dude, I haven't watched the ball drop in years. I fucking go to bed at 9 o'clock. You're in the same boat as me. But old Bryan, before he started taking care of things, hey, I used to really tie one on New Year's Eve. Absolutely. And it wasn't until about 2018 that I started to realize, like, oh man, I could just get a really good night's sleep and start my new year with the win. And so my challenge to you is this, right? If you're the type that's gonna like that typically drinks or like adds in the heavy beers and stuff like that, goes out and there goes to a big New Year's party and everyone just gets fucking wrecked. My challenge to you is this. Can you celebrate without alcohol this year? Can you enjoy yourself sober? Can you celebrate and find serenity in 2023 in the final minutes and hours of 2023 with not having a drink? Do you really need it? Is it really necessary for you to pour actual poison into your body? Now, as you guys know, it's not a requirement to be a part of Unbreakable Dads to go sober, right? I'm not going to, wage a war against alcohol here. Personally, I stopped drinking 2 years ago And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made for my health, for my energy, for the way that I feel. Also, I stopped doing stupid shit and staying up and making poor decisions after 10 o'clock at night. And so, while I believe it's an incredible lifestyle choice that will help you in the long run, right? I'm not saying that alcohol is the enemy. Maybe you know how to handle your liquor, and that's great. Still, my challenge is, can you celebrate and be grateful for 2023 and have just as much happiness and joy without having to have even one drink? Because I truly believe when you can start to find yourself, find the enjoyment in those parties, in those moments where you don't have to have a drink, I promise you're going to have more fun. And maybe you're not going to have as much like loosey goosey, low inhibition type fun. But hey, you'll have more fun in the long run because we all know that after 25, guys, you have two or three drinks and it sticks around your system for a lot longer than it used to when you were in college. And it's so easy where just tying a few on one night can destroy your whole next day. And this is why so many people start the new year with great intentions, but then they on New Year's Eve, they just fuck off, right? And then they start drinking, and then what? They sleep in, they don't attack the day on the first. Now they're already behind. And then it becomes this massive mental hurdle to then get going again. You have to like recover and sleep and rehydrate. You got to like drag yourself to the gym, and then the thought of even eating clean on January 1st is like, oh my god, dude, I just want a hamburger and french fries, because it's the domino effect of alcohol. So my question is, can you celebrate this year without alcohol? If you're trying to level up in 2024, right? You want to get healthier, you want to have more energy, all the things that you opened up and were vulnerable about to me on your client intake call, right? These are my goals. This is who I want to be. These are the results that I want to have. It starts with breaking old patterns. And so if you're usually the one to like have 4, 5, even 2 drinks on New Year's Eve, like, can you do it sober? Can you give your wife that New Year's kiss at midnight if you're going to stay up that late without needing a drink? Because you will start the year with so much more clarity, with so much more energy, in a new pattern. And I promise you, everyone is going to be talking about new year, new me, right? And then they do the same old shit every single year. There's an old saying, right? If you see a crowd walking right, go left, right? Whatever everyone does, do the opposite. And I promise you, in my life, I have done this over and over and over. I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. Everybody went away to college. I got a job in sales. Everybody went and got a job. I started my own business. Right? Everybody just kind of kept eating like shit well late into their 20s. I got my stuff in order. Right? Everybody skips the gym when they're tired. I go to the gym. Like it, whatever everyone does, I'm always trying to do the opposite. Because if I'm trying to be a top 1% dad, a top 1% version, a top 1% person, a top 1% man, then I can't operate like the 99%. And this isn't a personal attack on them. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I would hope that nobody on here thinks like, oh, Brian's got this, superiority complex. I don't think I'm better than anybody else as a person, but maybe I just make better choices. And maybe that's why my results are so much different than your average 30-year-old in North America in 2023. Right? If you want different results, you have to make different choices. And so ultimately, where can you be the black sheep of the group? Right? Hey, how can you apply this principle to other areas of your life? Right? What else are you kind of falling into and just, oh, it's the societal norm? How can you start to separate yourself and level up this holiday season? Because everyone is going to be talking about new year, new me. Everybody says it, right? Even if it's just themselves in the mirror. But very, very, very few men live it. So if 2024 is going to be the year that you finally get everything in order, right? It starts now, right? It starts before the new year even begins. I was taught early in my life, 24, 25 years old, when I used to sell Cutco, the way they used to talk about it was like, hey, new year starts now. And that was always the conversation that we had on October 1st. In my mind, 2024 started 3 months ago, right? Like if you're waiting for the gun to go off to start running, you're in no momentum right now. And so all these things that you're doing, this whole program, it's all about building momentum into the new year, right? And so that's what New Year's Eve is. It's the ultimate test. When everyone else is like, oh, it's the last hurrah of 2023. In my mind, I'm like, dude, I want a game plan so that way I want to act as if it's already January 1st. So that way when it is January 1st, when I wake up and it says 2024 on it, I'm in momentum. I'm in my discipline. I'm in my habits. I'm already winning. But I started winning months ago, right? So if you're waiting for the calendar to tell you to start that it's 2024, you're already behind, right? So we want to operate, especially now, December 18th, going forward through the remainder of the year, as if it's already 2024, right? Summer's just a few months away for those of you that are excited about taking your shirt off to do yard work and go to the pool and go to the beach and all that stuff. And you know, the old saying, right? Summer bodies are built in the winter. It's more true than ever, right? So finish the year with how you want to start the year. It's my final saying here. I want you guys to treat it as it's already 2024. Finish the year so strong that it's exactly how you want to start the year. There's no waiting for tomorrow. There's no, oh, I'll do this in 2024 or all this or all that. Doesn't really matter. It starts now, right? So, guys, that's how you win with Christmas and New Year's. That's how you get momentum. That's how you wake up on January 1st and you already feel like, man, my goals are way more attainable than they ever have been. I'm already in so much fucking momentum that it's actually harder for me to stop doing things than it is for me to do it. Right? Like I'm already winning at such a high level. Like I don't even want any of that stuff. Like, dude, we're crushing. We wake up on January 1st. I promise you, for those of you who go to a gym on January 1st, you will be shocked, shocked at how many people you talk to over the course of the next 14 days that are going to say, I'm going to get in great shape, just going to make it through the holidays, I'm going to lose the belly, like I'm taking my workout serious and all that stuff. All those people who are talking, they will not be there on January 1st. Everybody's got a health and fitness goal for 2024, yet they miss the first fucking day. Not in this group. We don't miss the first day. We hit our macros, we hit our fucking workouts, we do the cardio that's in there, we nail our daily disciplines because January 1st is just another fucking day. It's all it is, right? It's the same thing as December 19th. You're going to hit your macros tomorrow, you're going to hit them on the 1st. So finish the year with how you want to start the year. Make sense? I'm going to open up the Q&A. You guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to pop them in. If you don't have any questions, that's all I got for you in terms of the teaching side. I appreciate you guys hopping on. This is the final Mindset Monday of the year because next week is Christmas and the following week is New Year's Day. I'm going to be taking off personally on December 27th all the way through to the new year. So I'll be checking the app a little bit periodically. I'm not going to ignore you guys, but for the most part, I am going to be taking off. All right. So if I take a little bit longer to answer during that time, it's just I'm going to see, some close friends and, celebrate the holiday a little bit. Take a little mini vacation. I haven't taken one this year. So appreciate you guys hopping on. If you have no questions, you're free to go. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful New Year's. If you have questions, bring them on.